Okay, fine. Sound okay, quality okay, video okay, text okay, screen okay, fine. Hello students, I hope all of you are very well. Fine, so our today's class is electrostatic potential and potential energy. This topic is too much important for your NEET exam or G exam because almost every year directly numerical sums comes from this topic. Okay, in board exam you have questions based on the derivation of electrostatic potential and potential energy at a point because of a charge. Okay, so please subscribe my channel Pratik Singh Classes. Do like and share it and hit the bell icon so that whenever I will upload a new video, you will get its notification. On the right hand side of the screen, PSC, that is Pratik Singh Classes, that is a logo of my class, and below is written youtube.com/c/Pratik Singh Classes. That is the unique URL of my YouTube channel. So if suppose you have to see my videos, tutorial videos or anything which I have uploaded, okay, go to Chrome browser or YouTube browser or any browser and type there youtube.com/c/Pratik Singh Classes. It will take you directly to the home page of my channel. Okay, so without wasting our time, let us start our today's class. Okay, so the topic is electrostatic potential and potential energy. About energy, you have studied a lot of things in class 9th, 10th and 11th. Okay, so I hope you might have remembered what is the definition of energy. That is enough. Fine. Okay, here this thing, potential energy. The term potential you have studied in class 10th and 11th. In class 11th, we have seen a lot of things related to potential energy. Okay, potential energy is the energy of an object when it is in rest, or we can say that energy possessed by an object because of its configuration. Okay, then kinetic energy. In class 11th you have studied two types of energy, potential and kinetic. Okay, kinetic energy is the energy possessed by an object because of its motion. Okay, so here in this chapter we will see only about potential energy in case of electrostatic. Okay, means whenever charges are at rest, okay, how much will be the energy possessed by them, or how to find that what is the energy possessed by a charge or group of charges. Okay, so introduction. In mechanics, I'm sorry, it's coming again and again. Fine. In mechanics, potential energy is defined for conservative forces. About conservative forces and non-conservative forces, you have studied in class 11th. We will not go in so much deep because if we will go, the class will become very long. Since gravitational force is a conservative force, its gravitational potential energy is defined in standard 11th physics unit 6. Okay, so if you have forgotten this thing, you can go to your 11th book. Since Coulomb force is an inverse square law force, it is also a conservative force like gravitational force. Okay, about Coulomb's law, Coulomb's force, we already have seen in my first tutorial video. If you have missed that video, at the end of today's class I will give its link, or if you are using your mobile phone and you are online now, if you are watching this video online, if you touch the mobile phone's screen or if you move the cursor of your laptop or desktop, okay, at the top right corner you can see an I button there. If you touch that I button, you can get the link of my video from where you can directly go to that video. Okay, so one I button will come now, okay, and one I button will come at the last of today's video tutorial. Okay, so therefore we can define potential energy for charge configurations. Means if suppose charges are scattered uniformly or non-uniformly, or if there is an isolated charge, then how much will be the potential energy, how will it affect its vicinity. Okay, so all those things we will see in our today's class. Okay, electrostatic potential energy and electrostatic potential. Okay, please keep in mind this term electrostatic potential energy and electrostatic potential. Both these terms are either they are correlated but they are different from each other. There is a misconception between the students that they assume both these two things because electrostatic potential is common in them. Okay, they assume that it is same, but please keep in mind they are different. Okay, how is it different? We will see here. Consider a positive charge q kept fixed at the origin which produces an electric field E around it. Okay, electric field is a vector quantity, that means it has magnitude as well as direction. Okay, so what does it mean? See in figure 1.22. okay, at this position we have a positive charge and it is fixed, that means it is not moving from its place. Okay, and we have seen that whenever there will be a charge, either a positive charge or a negative charge, it will create an electric field around it. Okay, and there will be electric field lines coming out from positive charge and going inward from the negative charge. Okay, so this is the condition that here a positive charge plus q is there and it is lying at origin. Okay, origin O. A positive test charge q dash. Okay, in our previous video sessions, whenever the term test charge has come, it was denoted by q naught, but here it is denoted as q dash, not by q naught. Okay, so it is given here, this is the point r and a positive test charge is there, q dash is brought from point R to point P against the repulsive force between Q and Q dash as shown in figure 1.22. Now see, here is a positive charge and this also is a positive charge. This charge is fixed. Okay, and this charge, that is Q dash, is moving towards the charge Q. Because both these charges are positive, they will repel each other. Okay, in that situation, if we have to move this charge q dash towards q, we have to force it, or we have to apply a force on it so that it can overcome the repulsive force and go towards q. Okay, to apply that force, work must be done to overcome this repulsion, means we have to do some work so that the force exerted on charge q dash because of q should be lesser than the force exerted by us on the charge q dash. Okay, so we have to do some work on this charge and this work done is stored as potential energy of the charge. Okay, potential energy of the charge q dash. Okay, so I hope you are clear now. Okay, so please keep in mind that total work done is equal to total energy stored. That means whatever work will be done on this charge q dash, okay, will be stored in the form of potential energy in this charge. Fine. The test charge q dash is brought from R to P with constant velocity, which means that external force used to bring the test charge q dash from R to P must be equal and opposite to the force, okay, exerted by charge q to charge q dash. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, let us try to understand that elaboratively. Okay, here when the charge q dash is moved from position at R to position P, okay, there must be some work done on it. Okay, because this test charge q dash is moving from R to P with constant velocity, that means force exerted from q to q dash, that repulsive force, is equal to force exerted by us on charge q dash to move towards q. Okay, so in that situation both these forces will become equal. Okay, and they will nullify each other and the object, or here the charge, will move with constant velocity. All right, so in vector form that repulsive force exerted by charge q to q dash, that is Coulomb force, that is equal to external force, because these two forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. So we can write F external is equal to minus F Coulomb. This minus F Coulomb is the force exerted by charge q to q dash, and F external means the force exerted by us on the charge q to move towards the charge q. Okay, so in that situation, total work done is equal to W is equal to integral F external dot dr from R to P. You know that very well that work done is equal to force into displacement. Okay, so work done is equal to force into displacement. Same thing is here. Integral F external, this is the applied force, and displacement dr. When here dr is written, whenever we have a suffix d with anything, dx, dy, dz, dr, that means that term is very small, or we can say infinitesimally small. Okay, it means that the point Q and point P in the previous photo which we have seen is very near to each other. Okay, this is just for convenience. The point can be taken as far as possible. Okay, but here we are taking that they are very near to each other. Since Coulomb force is conservative, work done is independent of path and it depends only on the initial and final positions of test charge. Okay, the term written here that it is independent of path, what does that mean? It means that suppose you have a position A here and position B here. Okay, whatever path you take to go from A to B, either this way or this way or something like this way, in that situation total work done will be conservative or constant. Okay, so whether you go by this way or this way or this way, in all of them total work done will depend only on the position at A and position at B. If potential energy associated with Q dash and P is UP, always keep in mind that potential energy is denoted by capital U and kinetic energy by K. In some very good textbooks, okay, potential energy is also written as Kp. Okay, it is not like your chemistry. Okay, or sometimes it is also denoted as EP as potential energy and kinetic energy as EK. Okay, so not get confused. You are free to use any of these symbols wherever you want. Okay, so the potential energy associated with Q dash at point P is, suppose it is UP and that at point R is UR. Then difference in potential energy is defined as work done to bring a test charge Q dash from point R to point P and is given by change in potential energy. Whenever we have the word total potential energy needed or change in potential energy, it means final minus initial. Final position is position P and initial position is initial R. So here it has come UP minus UR. It will never be UR minus UP. Okay, so change in potential energy is equal to work done to bring the charge Q dash from point R to point P is equal to delta U or del U. Okay, then del U is equal to integral F external dot dr. Okay, here you can say dot product is here, and dot product you know very well that A dot B is equal to AB cos theta, and whenever we have a dot product, that means the answer will be a scalar quantity. That means we are only assigned here with the magnitude, not the direction. Okay, as we have seen, as the object or the charge goes from A to B by any of the directions or any of the path. Okay, so here direction is not needed, only the final magnitude is needed. That is why here you can understand why this dot product has come. Okay, so here external force is equal to minus of Coulomb force, okay, that is equal to minus Q dash into E, okay. This thing, F external is equal to minus F Coulomb, we already have seen earlier today, okay, and this thing, that is minus Q dash into E. This is the Coulomb force in the form of electric field, as we have seen in our second video class. Okay, so here del U, change in the potential energy or work done, W, is equal to integral minus Q dash into vector E dot dr from R to P. Okay, so here you can see that Q dash is a constant term, okay, that means amount of the charge, okay, so it will come outside. So W is equal to del U is equal to integral minus E dot dr from R to P. The potential energy difference per unit charge, okay, so if suppose this is a huge charge, then total potential energy per unit charge means by 1 coulomb how much is the potential energy can be given by dividing the potential energy change by total amount of charge, that is delta U by Q dash. Okay, so just substitute this equation 1.28 here, you can get minus integral vector E dot dr from R to P. So this is the potential energy per unit charge. Okay, as you can see from here that the equation, this thing is independent of Q dash, means in this equation 1.29 Q dash hasn't come, means amount of charge hasn't come. Okay, so the quantity del U by Q dash is equal to minus integral E dot dr from R to P is called electric potential difference between point P and point R, and is denoted as Vp minus Vr is equal to del V. Okay, potential is always denoted by capital V. In other words, the electric potential difference is defined as the work done by an external force to bring unit positive charge from point R to point P. But in general, we can also say that it is the work done to bring a charge from infinity to a point P towards a positive charge, to positive fixed charge. Okay, so here Vp minus Vr is equal to del V is equal to integral minus E dot dr from R to P. Okay, so please keep in mind this equation. This equation is too much important for your NEET exam and J exam. Okay, there they can directly ask that if a positive charge from infinity is brought to a point at a distance of something will be given, okay, or if a positive charge is brought from a point P to point Q, okay, and the gap between them will be given, okay, then how much will be the potential energy gap, or what will be the work done, okay, or what is the work done per unit charge can be asked. Whenever in competitive examinations, when these things are given, okay, they always use scientific notations, that the distance may be given in micrometer or millimeter or in autometer, jeptometer. So you have to memorize, or you have to remember those terms also. Okay, and whenever the charge will be given or electric field, okay, it may be also in scientific notations or the exponents of 10. Okay, so if you have forgotten those things, you can go to the first unit of first volume 11th standard book. Okay, so coming to the next topic. Okay, the electric potential energy difference can be written as del U is equal to Q dash into del V. Okay, physically potential difference between 2 points is a meaningful quantity. That means whenever we say potential, that means that is the potential between 2 points, 2 different points. Okay, but when we say potential at only one point, okay, that is invalid. Okay, there is no significance of that, even though in our day-to-day life, and not only that, in physics books also it is written that potential at point P, potential at point Q. Okay, is that valid to write like that or not? Let us see here how to make it valid. the value of potential itself at one point is not meaningful. Therefore, the point R is taken at infinity and its potential is considered as 0. That is, V infinity is equal to 0. Okay, it suggests that whenever we say that potential at point P, okay, that means the reference point is taken as infinity, and from that point an object or an charge is brought to point P. Okay, so when we write Vp, only Vp means potential at point P, that is final minus initial, that is Vp minus V infinity, and as V infinity is taken as 0, it is given here. Then the electric potential at point P is equal to work done by an external force to bring a unit positive charge with constant velocity from infinity to point P in the region of external electric field E. Okay, that means if suppose we are talking that at any point how much is the potential, it means that the charge is brought from infinity to that point when there was an external electric field, means the work must be done, okay, to bring the charge from infinity to any particular point when there is external electric field. Without external electric field, work done will be equal to 0. Okay, so mathematically it can be written as Vp is equal to minus integral E dot Vr from infinity to P. Okay, so this is the mathematical term of writing total potential at a point. Okay, and always see here, it is given here negative charge. Why? Because the work is done to bring a charge, okay, in the region of repulsion, or a positive test charge is brought from infinity to any particular point where another positive charge is creating its electric field. Okay, that is why this negative sign has come here. Okay, now coming to important points, electric potential at point P depends only on the electric field which is due to the source charge Q and not on the test charge Q dash. Okay, that means if suppose we have a source charge, okay, which is fixed at a point, that is Q, okay, and we are bringing a test charge towards it, that is Q dash. Okay, in that situation, electric potential at any point in between infinity to this depends on how much stronger the electric field is generated by the charge Q. Okay, and we know very well that as the distance increases from the charge, electric field decreases. Okay, nearer to the charge, electric field will be very higher. Okay, so unit positive charge is brought from infinity to point P with constant velocity. Okay, why this term constant velocity has come, we will see here. Okay, this is too much of significance of your understanding of your questions solving practices. Fine. Because external agencies should not impart any kinetic energy to the test charge. Okay, that means if suppose we have brought a test charge from infinity towards the source charge, that is Q, okay, here it has to be brought, that charge Q dash must be brought at in the direction of Q with constant velocity, so that there should not be any change in the kinetic energy of the test charge. Okay, from equation 1.29 which we have seen earlier, the unit of electric potential is joule per coulomb. Okay, that is joule is for energy, okay, and coulomb is for charge. Okay, so potential energy is equal to energy by charge. The practical unit is volt, named after Alessandro Volta. Okay, he was a French, so don't say this as Volta. It is Volta, who invented the electrical battery. The potential difference between 2 points is expressed in the terms of voltage. Okay, so coming to our next topic, that is electric potential due to a point charge. Fine. So whenever a point charge is brought from infinity to a reference point, okay, in external electric field of any other charge, how much will be the electric potential possessed by our test charge, or how much will be the work done to bring the charge from infinity to any particular point which is lying on an external electric field. Consider a positive charge q kept fixed at the origin. Let P be a point at a distance r from the charge q as shown in figure 1.23. So as you can see from this figure, it is given here, okay, charge is lying here. This is a positive charge, okay, and around the positive charge there will be electric field, okay. So when we go away from the positive charge, the magnitude of electric field will decrease, okay. The point P is lying in such a way that it is inside the electric field of the charge Q, okay, and another charge q dash is being brought from infinity to point P, okay. Now you have understood this thing very well, okay. So electric potential at point P is given by V is equal to integral minus E dot dr from infinity to r, that is equal to minus integral E dot dr from infinity to r. And I am seeing you once again that whenever you have negative sign in electrostatic potential or potential energy, okay, that means there is a force of repulsion has acted there, okay. That means both the charges are positive or negative, okay. The electric field due to positive charge q is given by vector E, that is electric field is equal to the 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q by r square into r cap, okay. So in short we write this as k into q by r square, which we already have seen in our previous video sessions, okay. So see here we have vector E, electric field is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q by r square into r cap, okay. So potential is equal to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into integral q by r square into r cap dot dr from infinity to r, okay. Here how has this equation came? Just substitute the value of E, the equation of E into this equation, okay. So at the place of E we can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q by r square into r cap, okay. So here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught will come outside as given here. Let me show you once again, okay. So here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught will come outside, okay. Then this negative sign is already outside, okay, and then this q by r square, this term will remain inside. So this is the complete equation to find out electric potential at a point P because of a charge coming from infinity to that point in an external electric field, okay. The infinitesimal displacement vector dr is equal to dr into r cap, and using r cap dot r cap is equal to 1, okay. That is dot product, that is unit vector r cap in dot unit vector r cap is equal to 1. We have V potential is equal to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into integral q by r square into r cap dot dr into r cap from infinity to r is equal to this equation minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into integral q by r square into dr from infinity to r, okay. So after integration of this equation, that is minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, into integral q by r square into dr from infinity to r. In this equation, if you will see, this term is a constant term. Okay, here q is the amount of charge, so it will also come outside. So the only integration we have to do is integral 1 by r square dr. Let me write it once again. We only have to write find the integration of integral 1 by r square dr, that is equal to minus 1 by r. So this equation, that v value is equal to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q into minus 1 by r from infinity to r. Here lower limit is infinity and upper limit is r. Why? Because the charge had started from infinity and came to point r under the external electric field. Okay, it is given as the value v is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q by r. Hence, the electric potential due to a point charge q at a distance r is v is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q by r. See, this equation doesn't contain the term q dash. That means it is it has nothing to do with q dash. Now coming to important points. Okay, so coming now to the important points. If the source charge q is positive, we have potential positive, and if suppose the source charge q is negative, we have negative potential. Okay, and that will be equal to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q by r. Okay, the description of motion of objects using the concept of potential or potential energy is simpler than that using the concept of field. Okay. Okay, so after integration of this equation, that is minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into integral q by r square into dr from infinity to r. In this equation, if you will see, this term is a constant term. Okay, here q is the amount of charge, so it will also come outside. So the only integration we have to do is integral 1 by r square dr. Let me write it once again. We only have to write find the integration of integral 1 by r square dr, that is equal to minus 1 by r. So this equation, that v value is equal to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q into minus 1 by r from infinity to r. Here lower limit is infinity and upper limit is r. Why? Because the charge had started from infinity and came to point r under the external electric field. Okay, it is given as the value v is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q by r. Hence, the electric potential due to a point charge q at a distance r is v is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q by r. See, this equation doesn't contain the term q dash. That means it is it has nothing to do with q dash. Now coming to important points. Okay, number 4, the electric potential at a point P due to collection of charges, okay, q1, q2, q3 up to qn is equal to the sum of electric potential due to individual charges. Okay, it is same as superposition principle. Like suppose we have n charges, okay, and we have to find out what is the electric potential at any point, any particular point, because of all the charges. What we have to do is we have to find individual electrostatic potential at that point because of all the charges, and then we have to add it. Okay, so what we have seen in point 3 and point 4, it is depicted in this figure. Okay, see here, this is a positive charge, okay, and another positive charge q dash is there, okay, at this position. 3 points are taken. P, Q and R. Okay, so you can see here, as the distance is increasing, the magnitude of potential is decreasing. Okay, at the nearest distance, that means from source charge to this test charge, okay, the potential is highest. In second situation, if suppose we have q minus q here as a source charge and a test charge plus q is there, okay, and we take three points, point P, point Q and point R. As you can see here, as the charge is moving from this position, okay, towards this negative charge, okay, its potential is decreasing. As you can see here, as the distance is decreasing, potential is increasing. So highest potential is at R and least is at V in the case of negative and positive charges. Okay, now see here, if positive charge is the source charge and fixed and negative charge is moving towards it, okay, 3 points are again taken, VP, P, Q and R. So here potential at point P is highest. That means as the distance is decreasing, potential is increasing. In case of negative charges, that source charge is also negative and test charge is also negative. So as we go away from the source charge, our potential will increase. Okay, so as the distance will increase, potential will also increase. Okay, and at infinity it will become infinity. Okay, so I hope you have understood all the important points. Okay, so coming to our third point once again, fourth point, that total potential because of n number of charges is equal to individual sum of potential because of individual charges, that is kq1 by r1 plus kq2 by r2 plus kq3 by r3 and so on, okay, up to kqn by rn. And mathematically in short term it can be written as follows. Okay, that is 1 minute. It can be written as V total is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into sigma qi by ri, where I is equal to 1 to n, including all the charges, where r1, r2, r3 up to rn are the distances of the charges respectively from the given point P. Okay. Okay, so here all the things are given as we have seen earlier. P is a point and we have here n number of charges, q1, q2, q3 up to qn. r1, r2, r3 up to rn are the distances from the charge to point P. Okay, and we are interested here to find electrostatic potential at point P because of all the charges. Okay, so first you have to find out potential at point P because of all the individual charges and then add it. Okay, so this is the completion of our today's class. Okay, so this is the end of our today's video session. Today we have studied electrostatic potential and potential energy. Okay, this topic is too much important for your competitive examinations. Okay, this is the unique URL on your screen, youtube.com/c/Pratik Singh classes. If you type this on your Google browser or Chrome browser or DU browser or UC browser or directly to the YouTube browser, it will take you to the home screen of my YouTube channel, and from there you can see all the video tutorials which I have uploaded there. Okay, please, if you haven't subscribed my video till now, if you haven't subscribed my channel till now, I request you to subscribe it because it will motivate me to make my videos better than the earlier and help you to fulfill your dreams. Okay, do like and share my channel among your friends so that everybody can get benefits from my knowledge, and hit the bell icon so